came across this video on TikTok and I said I can't keep quiet on this one. I have to post it. And yeah, there's this trend. I don't know if I should call it a trend of children going no contact from their parent. As you can see, this is a young girl. I don't think if she's even 20 years. She looks 19, or I don't guess for now. But she went no contact and now she's facing loneliness, like loneliness. And listen to her, Candy.
So I woke up early this morning to get my apartment all clean. I live alone. I've lived alone for like 3 years. It can get a little lonely at times, yes. My boyfriend lives out of state. I don't have a relationship with my parents. And I did have a relationship with my sister, confronted her about molesting me, haven't spoken in 3 years. But I've gotten used to being alone. So I get up early this morning because my friend is like, I'm going to come over, I'm going to bring my son, because we were just venting about how we both feel alone sometimes. And I was like being around him helps. So I want all y'all to come over and we can just chill. This girl was supposed to come at like 5 o'clock. She calls me at like 4:57 and she's like, oh, I won't be able to make it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like deep down I'm kind of fucking hurt because I've been feeling so lonely, and like life has just been getting me. Like I stopped drinking and smoking because I'm trying to get a new job and I'm just really trying to level up, but that shit is so fucking lonely. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just hit my vape and order some food. I'll make it a good night. Fucking drop my vape in the sink of dirty dishwater, and I'm broke as shit, and I'm not buying another one. That's like why I stopped smoking and drinking. I'm broke as shit. And I'm like, okay, I have like an Uber coupon. Let me use that for some dinner. Order my food. Dude shows up with the bag is empty, y'all. There's forks and silverware in there. And I'm like, Kava, what the? Like, y'all, even an empty cup. Like, this is all there is. So I go to Uber trying to fix it. They're not helping me at all. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck ever. So I'm just like feeling really down. I shouldn't be crying over this, but it's just like the straw that broke the camel's back. Me and my granddad are pretty close. So I call him and he didn't answer. So I call him again. And I was like, hey, like, what are you doing? And basically he just brushed me off because he was in the middle of doing something. I understand because, you know, you're busy sometimes. But y'all, like, and I called my boyfriend and he's doing stuff with his family. I'm just tired of feeling so fucking alone. Like, I didn't want my life to be like this. I had to be alone to be away from toxic people, but it hurts. Like, this shit really hurts. And I try to pray and stuff and be okay with being alone. Like, I have my cat, but oh my God. I'm just tired and I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna take some Benadryl and go to bed.
This is a very recent video, and on the caption she said that she's going to delete the video very soon. So I know that the video will be deleted very soon, but you know, this girl need help. She need help. So kindly share the video. Maybe it might find or meet one of her family members, and yeah, let's share the video kindly.
Here is why going no contact with your emotionally immature parent is actually the worst decision you could ever make. Number 1, it is going to cause you so much pain when you realize your own worth. It is so incredibly stressful to do what you want to do when you want to do it without hearing their voice inside your head critiquing you. It's just a fucking horrible place to be when you realize you are not responsible for others' shitty behavior and you actually deserve the life that you want to live.
I must say that's one perspective. Let's listen to somebody else, and here I will just play 3 people who gave different opinion so that we can learn from them at least. Let's learn something out of this.
I've seen so many videos recently about parents saying that their adult children have decided to go no contact to cut them off estrangement. And I wanted to share my view on this topic. I've been a clinical psychologist for over a decade now, and I have not met one adult child that has made this decision and it not be the absolute hardest thing that they've ever done. You see, as humans, we are wired to connect with our parents. We are wired to want to have a relationship with our parents. And what tends to happen is that when they come into adulthood and start unpacking some of their childhood and some of their experiences and now revisit that relationship with their parents, there are things that they want to discuss, things that need reprocessing. And what they find is lack of respect from the parent, lack of acknowledgement of their reality, lack of accountability, and pretty much a refusal to see their point. This elicits some parental shame from the parent, and they tend to double down, get defensive, and just discredit the adult child's experience. This is extremely painful for the adult child. And despite what often is many, many, many attempts to repair this relationship, the adult child makes the difficult choice of estrangement. And this choice, even years later, continues to bring them pain, but they find it to be the healthiest in this situation. So this idea that this is the easy route is just not something that I find to be the case. And so if you are the parent of an adult child that has chosen to go no contact with you, I invite you to explore. I invite you to lean in with curiosity and ask yourself, if I do want to have a relationship with my adult child, what is it that I can do? What can I learn? How can I best listen? Blaming your adult child for the ruptures in a relationship that's usually goes both ways, and where the parent holds more weight because at the end of the day, they are still the parent, is what's probably getting in the way of you having the relationship that you desire. And by the way, just because you took certain behavior from your parents and you allowed it and you made allowances for them does not necessarily mean that your adult child needs to do the same. And no, I don't think it's a generational thing. I will say, though, that a lot of millennials and individuals in Gen Z are in therapy. They're much more conscious, much more aware of what healthy relationships look like. And they're going to want that in their lives.
She just mentioned something that I've heard a lot of time about why our Gen Zs and millennium, like, how do you call that thing? My English is not Englishing. It has crashed at that particular point. So they're leaving the family because they are more aware of their emotional health. So they know what is an healthy relationship and they want the best out of their lives. Yeah, so we're living in an age where psychology and people understand themselves better. Education and everything is progressing. So parents, let's try to level up and listen to these young people and also understand them kindly.
The reason as to why so many parents, boomers, and older generation X are wondering as to why their children want nothing to do with them and why they're going no contact is because I'm going to address the parents real quick. First of all, you parents, you all did the bare minimum. All you did was provide a roof over our head. All you did was just give us food, clothing, and shelter, and that is it. And you sent us to school because if you didn't send us to school, DCFS was going to come take us away and get on you. You would go to jail. So you basically just did the bare minimum to save and protect yourself. But when it came to the emotional support for your children, you barely even spent time with your children. Your kids would go off to school, come on home, and all you would do is just go off into your room, do your own thing, and your children did their own things. You all barely spent time with them. The only time you actually spent time with them was when it was something that you wanted to do, not what they wanted to do. You did the bare minimum, and you talk all the time about how you've done so much and you do all of this and you've provided. Okay, but there's a difference between providing for a child and raising a child. You parents didn't raise us. You didn't raise your children. All you did was provide. Your children raised themselves. Your children had to go to other people to get the type of love and support that they couldn't even find in their own home. Your kids went to school with behavioral issues. It affected their peer relationships, and you, for no reason, you could never really see what was really going on with your children because you didn't even take the time to get to know them. You didn't take the time to understand them. You didn't take the time to know who they are as a person. You didn't see your children as people. You didn't see your children as your child. You saw them as an extension of yourself. You saw them as your property. You saw them as your property. You saw them as your slave. Somebody that you think can just go ahead and do all the housework for you while you just sit on your lazy bum. You just thought that if all you had to do was just work and provide, that's all you had to do. But no, it's more to it. You had to love your children. Loving your children is showing them that you love them, being kind to them, being empathetic, holding space for them emotionally. And that's something that you did not do for your children. They grew up with this void. You see them having behavioral issues. You see them having addictions. It's to fill that void that they did not get from you. And then you shame your children, you shun them, you belittle them, you shut them down, and they never felt safe with you. You have abused your children, you have mishandled them, you have belittled them, disrespected them, you have crossed their boundaries. You did not teach your children like what they needed to learn to advance in this world. You set your child up for failure. And if you still have children living in your home that are adult children, it's because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You set them up for failure. And this is exactly why you got adult children living with you. And this is exactly why you're pissed and you're irritated because you want your space. Well, you know what? You spent so much time trying to ignore them. Now they all up in your face because this pandemic didn't cause all of this to happen. And it's because your behaviors persisted and they never changed. That's why they want nothing to do with you, because you seem to want nothing to do with them.
Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate. Subscribe and leave your thoughts kindly.